Uh, we're here. It's 5:31. Where are you?
Well, I'm here.
That's right. Lauren's here. That's right. It's very good. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started anyhow.
Oh, there's Chris.
I just dumped Coke all over my leg.
Okay, hold
On here. Can you get me... No, what a great way to start. Yeah, I need 2. Yeah, I just dumped like half a can of Diet Coke all over, but we'll get it. It'll be all right. Yeah, thanks, honey. Appreciate it. Hey, Brenda and Lauren. Hey, Chris. So glad you can make it. Oh, look, it didn't stain this. Must have got it in time. Good. Well, I can stand wet pants. It's just my knee. It's not like I'm sitting
Maria.
in it. You know, when you're sitting in something wet, that's not fun. But I'm not sitting in it. It's just on my legs. So. And it's about time you get a new paper for this anyway. When you say, Lauren?
Yeah,
I think
probably.
I have a... This looks a little bit better, maybe. Yeah, we'll just start over. Okay, so anyways, this is our last class, if you want to call it that. And
People are coming.
Regency. Yeah, I'm trying to straighten this out. Okay, good. This is our last class in the Regency-Jane session, whatever you want to call it. Our experimental class, whatever it was. Doing like repurposing with... well, it's not repurposing. We didn't use anything repurposed. In fact, I'm not sure I could have. Well, I don't have any real Georgian jewelry anyway. I don't know if any of you do. If you do, we'd love for you to share it at the creative group. We'd love to see some. I know, I'm pretty sure Erica Price has some. But you know, when you live in England, stuff like that's easier to come by. But anyway, yeah, this week we're going to finish up. We're going to do earrings. And the one thing that I noticed a lot in trying to make this all work out is that the earrings were really big and heavy, and they were more Georgian than Regency. And I couldn't even picture any young women wearing them except maybe the Bingley sisters. I don't know. There's very, very wealthy people that would have had that. Most people weren't very wealthy, just the same way as they aren't today, you know. But what really seemed to figure the most was the sentimental type, you know, keepsake nature of jewelry. And I think that carries over even to today. That people are looking for stuff to give to someone in their jewelry making, or make for someone that is a little memory or a treasure, something special. You know, a lot of the old pieces had engraving on them. Not too many of us have that ability, though you can develop it. I did. I can engrave freehand on a small piece of brass. Not as good as I used to, but it would come back quick. You could do that. But things like, you know, we talked about lover's eyes and face jewelry and cameo jewelry, things with little engraved things in it, and pictures, portrait jewelry, hair jewelry, you know, really, that's really getting personal. That kind of thing was very, very popular in that period, which is like right after 1800 up to around 1830, 1837, something like that. And then that's when that period changed and things went over to being according to Queen Victoria's taste. Everybody followed her for fashion. But anyway, so I'm trying to think, you know, it's so hard to find a lot of legit Regency stuff that isn't just all the same thing a lot. And it's just that period of time, I guess. You know, there was a neoclassic movement toward the beginning of the 1800s, late 1700s, where, like, for example, in France, people had problem with riches and excess. And that's why the French Revolution got started. That was a pretty ugly time. And so people weren't focusing on that kind of thing. In fact, in one book, I saw where they'd made a pair of earrings that were made like little guillotines. That was sick.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who wants to wear those?
I know, really. But anyway, things got more ornate as it got up into Victoria's time, but at this time, not so much. But a lot of people wore earrings. A lot of people wore sentimental little lockets and things like that. It wasn't like they were devoid of jewelry. It's just the big, heavy-duty stuff. It was more back to Georgian times, a little bit earlier. And only people of wealth who were a little older had that kind of stuff. So what I'm settling for, and perhaps you have been too, as you go along, I'm settling for the feeling. I'm settling for the inspiration of it. So when I made my earrings this week, that's what I did. And I just took some straight pieces that I had sitting around. And I didn't really get on my stride till the end of it, but I'm going to show you kind of the first process that I had. I thought I'd make these little earrings. And all they are is these little tiny hearts that are glued onto a tiny little lace edge setting. We have lots of these, by the way, in the silver plate section at Beats Boutiques. Now, I would have rather had golden ones or even raw brass, but I didn't. So this is what I had, so I stayed with silver this time. Now, if you want to be authentic to Regency period, it would be raw brass, it would be gold. It would be look of karat gold, like 14K. But I didn't have enough of that, so I went with silver. And so all I did is I just put the little lace edge behind, glued down the heart, put my, jump through it and connect it to an ear wire. And then I had, these are vintage. These are like 50s vintage. We used to, when I was doing antiques, we called these celluloid, but they're not celluloid by any means. They're just some kind of hard plastic that was tinted. I remember when I was a little girl, my aunt gave me a bracelet, a bangle bracelet, that was all these colors, and little carved out type flowers, which were not really carved out, of course. They're molded. But anyway, that was from that period, and I found them in my stuff.
Can you see that better?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm just trying to
we
get
have
the mic
that
close.
issue with my skin again. I don't see it. No, it's pretty. Last week, guys, if you saw my skin, you must have thought I had some hideous disease. All it was I saw that later. I'm like, oh my, that just looked like a lizard skin, and it was just exposure adjustment. I think we're on top of it now. So this is all I did. Very simple. Take you like 10 minutes, and now you got these cute little earrings. And I have these. I don't know if you guys have noticed them. We still have them. They're in the ear wires section. They have a little tiny chaton set into them. Just precious, like old Victorian earrings would. So if you don't have any of those and you'd like to have some, I'd suggest you hop on over to the section where we keep the ear wires and get yourself some. Because we do have some, but not tons. And I don't know if I can get more, so they're kind of a neat thing. I think we had them in gold, too. Check and see. Anyway, so I did that. And then I thought, well, we'll take it a step further. I love this resin that looks like the chrysanthemum, Japanese chrysanthemum looking type stuff. It's the imitation coral. Some places call it coral. It's not coral. What it is
it's a resin rose.
it's resin that has coral dust in it. So, you're not entirely wrong in saying that it's coral, but it's certainly not completely coral. Not coral in the sense that somebody dove down in the sea and got it out of the ocean and carved it. No. This is all molded. But it is quite nice. We usually have a good bin on the website. We're low right now, but we do have these. We have a good many of these, and if they're not on there, I have them in a basket. I know exactly where they are. We're having a time trying to get everything up. We've been putting everything on Etsy lately because we have this, this stuff that came in from 1928, and we're sharing it with everyone. So anyway, we've got a good crowd going on here. It's Gloria, June, Karen Gale,
Yeah, there's been a bunch of people jumping on here.
Oh, really? Great.
Yeah.
Cherie, Dara's here, Maria Danko.
We got Chris, yeah.
Yeah,
She was
got
the
a
first
good
one here.
good start on it. That's nice. I'm glad. So all these are too is I just glued them down to a little bit larger lace edge, which we have plenty of these on the website too. They're in the silverware silver plated section, and then I, put one of those little hearts at the bottom on each one, and I have dangle. Now it looks like this slid. I'm gonna have to re-glue this. Let me have a look. Yeah, it slid, but that'll
I
be
hate
easy.
when that happens.
I know, me too, but it's easy to fix, so it's no big deal. But anyway, in fact, I might even put something different on there than that because this isn't the right pink. You notice that? This is too bright for this, I think. So
It is a little
yeah,
neon.
so I have some chunky teardrops in this color. We have them at Etsy and we have them on the website too. Just put teardrop into the site
Those
search
coral
box.
carved ones?
And you'll find them.
Yes.
Yeah, the real
I was
ornate
just
one.
thinking those would
I have
really
a couple
nice.
of them on wires already, so maybe I'll take this off and put them on. It might balance it a little bit better too because these are so chunky. But anyway, I did that, and that kind of gives you that feeling. Fanciful. Coral, agate, onyx, all that was very, very popular back in that time. It's a little bit short up here. Might need to put in a different one. I don't know. It was a thought. It got better the longer I was at it. That happened to you guys sometimes? Happens to me a lot. I'll start out and I say, oh, yeah, that's kind of cute. That's kind of cute. That's good. And as I go along, it just gets better and better. So anyway, that's what I think. Then I decided to make these little tiny ones with the bubble bead. We have lots of those as German bubble beads. And there are some rhinestone findings on here. These are real small and tiny. But they would go with anything. And they had, a lot of that too. Small things that just kind of accented their clothing. Then I made these. Now they're getting more's going on. And what I did is
Those are more like assemblage, right?
they are assemblies, yeah. But instead of, no matter how much pink I own, they never match. It's hard, isn't it, Gloria? Anyway,
Some shades are hard to match.
Yeah, so what I did, a lot of times on these, I would put a little dab of epoxy sculpt in there and push stuff in, but I didn't have reason to mix up a bunch of it, so I just didn't go there. So I just did like I did in the beginning when I was doing mosaic, and I just slathered E6000 on there and set everything down into it, no biggie, So that's how I applied these at 6000. Just some little twinkling chatons and little elements, resin roses and pearls are pretty. Some of that's vintage. But I don't know if you can see the drop. This is where I started having fun. Can you see my eyes?
If you move it over just slightly
This
to the
way?
left, yeah,
Okay.
I'll try to zoom in
Okay.
some more. And that
Right
way they'll be
here.
in
Maybe
screen.
you can see my eyes. Now, I don't just have one eye looking at you. I've got both of the eyes. I thought it was fun.
It's a little, you barely notice it.
Yeah.
It's like you have to look really close.
Yeah, I don't.
It's a wink.
Yeah, she's winking at you.
It's a wink.
I'm not into that evil eye stuff.
Blink and you miss it.
Kind of a cult type thing. It's just not me. But I thought they're just too cute to pass up the opportunity to put something in there, so I did. So I got some little eyes down there, and that's kind of cute. But these are the ones that I like the best, and I want to go make a bunch more of these. I always say that, and then I never do because I have to move on to something else. But anyway, I made these. These are the last ones I made today. And these have the whole face.
Oh, okay, let me bring those back
Maybe you can
in.
bring it back in there a little
Yeah,
bit.
can
Can't we
you,
pull
bring them down just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be good.
Yeah, these have the whole face. And this comes from one of our papers where we have big fancy ladies in the
Oh, I was wondering where you got the faces.
yeah, and those
Okay.
pictures, they have to be cut down and use parts of them.
Oh, yeah, they're huge.
They're just too big. I thought I brought one in here. Anyway, I didn't. But what I went in is I just found a face And then I traced around this heart part, which just kind of sticks up. And it ended up being, a heart shape too, of course, because it's a heart shape finding. And so I had two beautiful little heart shaped faces. So I took my Yoo-Hoo glue and I glued them down in, and then I ran glue over the top because I didn't want to get out the Mod Podge. And you can do that with the Yoo-Hoo glue. If you just got a little bit or a little piece, you can do that. And that'll seal it kind of good too. But I could go back and paint a little Mod Podge in there also if I wanted. And then I just decorated her by taking a piece of rhinestone chain going around this outside part and this outside part. And a few little chatons up here and a little golden flower with the chaton. And then I put, I might have to swap that one out. I don't know. This is moonstone. And
Oh, that's what you used.
yeah,
Okay.
this is moonstone. This is real moonstone. Down there at the bottom. Kind of makes it kind of cool, I thought. So that's what I did on these. So I like these. I might just have to keep them, and then maybe I'll make more.
Yeah, I had gotten that paper thinking I had wanted to use her or one of those ladies. I had like this whole, and the birds too, and I had like this whole idea in my head.
But they're bigger than I thought
And
they
yes,
were.
and then I got the
when
paper and I
bought
was
them.
like, oh,
I know.
yeah, this ain't working.
I wouldn't have bought those papers because I thought they were scaled a little differently.
Yes,
than
I thought they were scaled
ended up
different.
being, but no, it turns out that they were
They're
really
beautiful though.
kind of large. So, I thought, well, we just have to cut this up and see what we can do. Well, the ladies' faces themselves were not that huge, so I could put them in the middle of the heart. I really like how they came out. I wish I had more of these heart type findings because I would go make a bunch of them, but I only have like a couple pairs left, and I thought I'd better leave them in there in case somebody wants them. But it looks like I'm pretty nearly going to make my goal that I've been talking about on a creative group in order so that I can pay off the toolers and order more stuff in before the first of the year. Because if I wait till then, we're not going to have anything till sometime in February, and that's just too long. So it looks like I'm going to be able to do this. So I'm going to probably start writing that order tonight so I can get it in next week. Woohoo!
Yay!
Yay! So that's pretty much what I had to say. I didn't have anything profound this time. We covered a lot of it already because it's more demure period of time. One thing I could have done that would have been very effective, and I was not able to switch over to that, was hair jewelry. And one of the big reasons why I was not able to switch over to is I don't have the right findings. I could buy some Chinese findings, but they're generally pretty awful where it comes to hair jewelry. You really need to get U.S. made, and there's just less and less and less to buy out there. So I'm going to make a little quest, little expeditions to try and source this stuff, internet expedition, to see what I can find from my suppliers, because one of my customers sent me some pictures of some hair jewelry she made, bejeweled hairpins, just simple hairpins, and they were just wonderful. And we all have stuff in our stashes that we could use to make that, and they make wonderful gifts, and people wear jeweled hairpins, especially this time of the year. Bridal, and also this time of the year, a lot of people just wear them, period. I have a whole bunch of them in a drawer in there.
I love hair jewelry.
And I do wear them. But if you see today, the picture that I put on the class, I have shown it before. It's that great big parure that looks kind of like Miriam Haskell. And I love looking at it. But even if you have the skill to make something like that, and I don't entirely have it, I could probably make the hairpiece. Who's going to buy it, really? Unless you have moneyed clientele and it's a commission job. Because it's just so time-consuming, you will never get your money back out of it. The parts used are not that expensive. It's just the time. That's the problem with the Haskell-type work, too. This is so labor-intensive that when you consider the time you have into it, it's not something maybe you want to pursue a lot of. But it's good to know how, because a lot of people don't. So you could say you know how. This is a good thing to know. And I'm really glad we had that class about a year ago, because now a lot of you guys do know how to do it, and you do a good job too. So I don't know if we're going to continue that class sometime sooner or not. It took a lot out of me, because I can do that work, and I think I can teach it effectively enough, but I'm so slow at it, so till I get on camera, I'm just fumbling around and wasting your time. So I would have to find a little bit better way to present it. I think I'm starting to lose my voice already for some reason. Let me get a drink here.
I want to get some velvet chokers too.
Yeah, when you do that. You know, this would be pretty that way. If you just took this ornament and you put this on a velvet choker, wouldn't that be pretty?
Even your the top piece, either piece actually of your other earrings too. The one with the assemblage one, and even the little eye, that would be cute on a little choker.
Yeah, it would. Definitely a narrow piece of ribbon. There's a lot of cute, whimsical things to be doing. I think I have some in one of these boxes where I have leftovers from the boho class. But I don't think it's enough for me to put on the website, so I'm just going to have to go buy some.
Because we have plenty of the end clamps or
but
crimps.
What I'm thinking about is that narrow ribbon that's not maybe more than 1/4 or 3/8 inch wide. And we don't have clamps to go with those, but here's the deal on that. You don't need them. You can just take it and glue it, even with hot glue, and then take a little tiny piece of embroidery, like, I don't know if you remember, when we did the class, I had little pieces of flower embroidery, and I would just glue it over top of a juncture or something, and you wouldn't see it. That's what I do. And then you'd have a little loose edge there that you could go ahead and put a jump ring through and finish it, so it'll work out good. Yeah, I think we're going to do that, Andrea. So I have that too. So everybody, I want to say I really admire the work that I'm seeing, and I see that we had a lot of ones who just jumped right in there and got busy with us this time. So
I'm still working on my pieces.
Yeah, you've got until Monday night.
Of course.
You've got until Monday night to get them done.
I'm going to be on the nose as usual.
Yeah. I wish I had enough of these backings so that I could go ahead and show you how I did this, but I don't. But I think it's pretty straightforward. You can see all you need to do is just cut out your face, and those. You know what, Lauren? If you wouldn't mind, go in. I think it's on my chair, or either on the end of my bed. I have some of that paper folded up.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna bring it in here, and then we could take a look at it together. Hi, Rose. How you doing? Happy Saturday. So how do you guys like this time of day to be doing this? Does it kind of interfere with your family? I was thinking a little bit about, oh, wow, we can do some Saturday sessions, sometimes Saturday videos, but this might be a little too late because people have things going on Saturday nights. So I don't know. If we're going to do Saturday, might need to.
My favorite is the girl in the middle.
Yeah, the girl in the middle. Yeah,
she's my favorite.
Okay. This is the one here. I used her.
Oh, wait, we can't see her.
For, let me just. I use.
Bring it down.
Her.
There you go.
This face for these eyes.
Oh, it's her eye. Okay.
That way, only need one face. And then this one that is cut out here is the one I used in here, so I don't have any more on this one. I wonder if, Lauren, if you go out in the garage, could you find the pieces we have? I don't know, 6 or 7 of these sheets in stock at least. I was surprised to see how much we still had out there. But yeah, this girl has a pretty face too. I mean, you could just make lady face jewelry. Let me see, it's not showing. You pull it out. That's her. Okay, it's clear over here. Her. She has a pretty face. You could just cut this out and glue it on chipboard and make your own pendants and stuff. You run a little bit of rhinestone chain around the edge here. Some little flowers, maybe some little tiny ribbon roses in here. Make yourself a brooch out of that, you know. So yeah, this is what it looks like, not cut up. This is how it works when you get these big sheets, you know.
She's my favorite right there. The girl with that pink headdress.
Yeah, there.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
my
you guys
favorite.
can't even begin. Can we? I don't think we can go back out to even see everything out. Can you?
Nope, I think that's
it.
yeah.
Well, there are 9 pictures on this sheet, and they're all very pretty ladies. But the one that I used is her. This one. You can see her face is really rather heart-shaped, so it was very easy to make it work. But I needed 2 of them, you know. So, you may have some digital downloads or something that you own or that you can get, that you could get things from too. The only thing is with a digital download, unless you learn to print on tissue paper, and guess what? There's a tutorial on that right on my website that teaches you how. Deborah Puckett did it a couple years ago. It shows you how that you can transfer your image, copy it onto tissue paper. And that's what you would need, because you need to be able to manipulate this paper a little bit. And that HP paper that you print onto for digital is great for, like, if you want to make cameos out of it, glass cameos or something. But it's not good for, like, something like this where you want it to mold, so you can see. This is about right, just the right, you know, size. But I needed to get it to mold to, you know, the paper. I don't want it stiff and sticking out. You know, it's got to kind of mold down and have soft edges. So, can you guys hear me? Am I too quiet? I hope not. So, you know, there's an idea too. She would be really pretty because she has kind of a heart-shaped face. So does she, for that matter. Yeah, there's most of them would work, you know, for something like that. So that's a thought, something that you could do and give you kind of a Regency style. But the main thing for inspiration for that, and I've told you before, is if you go to Pinterest and you punch in Jane Austen jewelry, that's what you want to do. And you will see modern interpretations, and you can just bounce from that. Because when I got the book on Georgian jewelry, it's a fantastic book. I think many of you who like antique jewelry would enjoy having it, even though it is a little expensive. But there's just not a ton out there in Regency. But if you want fanciful type things, you want to be inspired by that, watch Bridgerton. If you're familiar with that series, that's on TV, Bridgerton. There's a lot of jewelry. That's Regency period, younger people. There's a lot of jewelry in it, and it's kind of a little bit over the top. So you could have some fun with that. Because even what they have there, the clothing is authentic to the period, but not all the jewelry is. But it's kind of more Georgian. So you might have a really good time looking at that too. But just think of all the nice little lace and velvet chokers you could make, which is like one face, one heart, you know. Put that on your velvet and then hang something from the bottom. I mean, wow. That'd be stunning.
Just
and
like a little pearl
and
or
you
something.
you could probably do them like an assemblage line almost. You know, you could get a lot of them done in a short amount of time, maybe an afternoon, or at least prep them. And then you could get busy and put them on your Etsy store, and you probably would sell quite a few of them. Because that's something you'd probably sell it for $25 or under and still make out just fine. So, anyway. Oh, it sounds good. That's good, dear. I'm glad. Okay, so does anybody else have any more ideas for their Regency style pieces? What did you guys make this week? I saw Sherry Gardner did a bunch of tiaras and hair jewelry. That would be a nice thing. Like I said, I didn't go there this time because I didn't have the right findings in stock. But that's not to say you don't.
I'm doing a brooch.
You're doing a brooch?
One of my pieces is a brooch.
Colleen did a brooch. Are you surprised?
No. Mine is for mourning
Yeah.
style jewelry. So I'm using
That'd
the
be
matte
cool.
black.
You can do that. Dara likes the book. She got a copy of it. I don't know if you guys saw this. I used these big fish shepherd's hook earrings. You see them? They're we have good bidding on the site. They're not real cheap. They're handmade. But they're wonderful. And one thing I noticed in Regency jewelry, almost everything was fish hook, and it was something like this. Made like this. With wire. A lot of parts were soldered to it, which I don't know. That worries me a little bit. I don't know how this wire would really support a bunch of soldered stuff, but if I had a real piece of it, I could probably see how they worked that out. But I thought, well, maybe not that, but we can find another way to ornament it if we wanted. So I used them on these, and I like them. I like them a lot. Yeah, I think I have to keep these.
Just put them in our ears,
I'll
guys.
put 'em
No
in
one else can
my-
wear them now.
Yeah.
Unless they're cleaned with alcohol.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I keep threatening to put stuff on my site and sell my jewelry, and I just never do it, and I never get it done. I don't know if any of you feel this way. Maybe this is why maybe it's hard for some of you to get things listed on Etsy, but I'm just not always real satisfied with the jewelry I have.
Or she
To
likes it
offer.
too much.
Well, I really don't keep that much of it. But I might put these ones on. That makes sense. But I'm not happy with these here. These need redone. But these are cute. These would be cute little $8, $10 earrings maybe. And these are nice too, actually. Just got to get a good way to get them, to hang. Oh, I've gone clear over here thinking you can see them here. Let me get this out of the way. These, I had a lot of fun putting those together, just layering them, A little bit of rhinestone.
Here, bring your hand down a little bit. And I'm going to zoom in on those so we can see the parts a little bit better.
Huh.
There we go.
Yeah. So if you've got some stray rondelles and little parts, maybe some of the parts that you used in Haskell class, if you took it, that you didn't use yet, would work. You can make some really pretty earrings like this. If you give gifts to a lot of friends this time of year, you can make a bunch of these quickly and put them in little velvet pouches and hand them out, and they'll be delighted with them. So anyway, does anybody
Yeah, they
else?
look very intricate, but it's just layers.
Yeah. It's just,
They're like easy to make, but
you
they
just-
look intricate.
you just, kind of like those memory wire stuff I like to make. So hard to list. I'm a maker, been trying to list all week, got about 5 done. 100 to go. Yeah, I hear you. Most of us are makers who sell our stuff, and I don't know if they feel the same way as I do. I've always got a lot of stuff to source and bills to pay and all that other kind of thing, or some class that I got to be getting ready, and I just think, who's going to buy this anyway? Nobody wants to buy my jewelry. Isn't that negative? When I'm telling you guys all the time, don't be like that, and then here I'm like that. But and then I'll go to get stuff ready to put it on. I'm like, I sold a lot of jewelry this year. What am I talking about? It's not here. I go to get it. So I want to put that on. I said, no, you can't because you already sold it. So.
Yeah, mine, I can't ever have enough on mine. Like, I haven't made any in a while, my bracelets. Like, it's a little bit time consuming because collecting all the beads and getting enough. And I like to make patterns with my bracelets and making my own bead mixes and combinations of colors. And it's just...
Well, making it's not the big deal for me. I get stuff made. It's just, I don't feel my photography skills are up to par for selling pictures. Although the one picture I made the other week of the copper piece came out really well. But I just, I don't know. And I don't want Diane and Lauren doing it because they have their hands full already. So, I got to do it. And I got to listen. It's not that hard, but I got to tell you guys, you got to have something new every day. So here's what you do. You just go and you put something on like 2, 3, 4 pieces a day, and that's it. Even if it's just earrings. Just have something new all the time, and it'll keep your stuff moving. Well, we get lots of, parts on. Lauren, she put bunch last night and the night before, 9 parts. They're all sold. They're all
Last night I was getting frustrated because I was trying to get. I only got a few up, but I was trying to get more, and the pictures were just, my lighting was bad, and they're more.
It's hard when it's night.
It's vintage stuff, and so I want to make sure it comes out really good, and it's a little bit harder pieces anyways, and then at night it was just not happening.
So I have another great big box full of those, boards that I got from Mr. Bernie. Those are really kind of intriguing.
They are.
And then I thought, well, maybe this would be the right time, too. I have a whole lot of recipe boards that he gave me a long time ago. And I thought I would never sell them. But, being honest, I don't need all those. If I had 1 or 2 that I like, especially, that would be plenty. I can let them go. So I think along the line, before too long, I'll be putting some of those in there, too, on Etsy to sell. And what they are, in case someone is not really familiar with a recipe board, it's the board that they would take the actual piece of jewelry that had already been engineered, and they figured out where the parts all came from, and can they get more, and how much do they need of this, and how much do they need of that, and chain lengths, how long they should be, that kind of thing. And they put it all on a board. One side, they glue down the actual piece. The actual vintage piece is glued down on there, and then on the back they break down the parts. And they're really little pieces of history. They're really very fascinating. And not all of them, but a few of them had early 70s dates on them. And if you read my book, you know that's early for 1928, because there was no 1928 until 1968, and that was basically Mel taking stuff out of his trunk down in L.A. and schlepping it around, And it was mostly just warehouse stuff that he had. But when you got up into 71, then that's when Richard got involved and they started making a lot of jewelry and selling it to the mall stores and stuff. Started really, really cooking with gas. So I think the earliest date I had was at 1972. So that is pretty early for 1928. Most of them were late 70s, early 80s. But still, they're little slices of life from that time. And the people who collect 1928 would probably like to have them. And I really only want to keep 2 or 3 of them, so... I still got Mr. Bernie's case here. He gave it to me, but I just really don't have any reason to keep it. I'd like to. It's kind of hard to part with, but I just really have reason to keep it. So I'm probably going to send it back to him because I think he should give that to his grandson. I think that should stay in their family. It was fun, but I don't think I should be the one to keep it. So anyway, that's pretty much what I know about that. Anybody have any news, anything they want to talk about yet? We might take off out of here a little bit early and let you eat your Saturday night dinner, and I'll rest my voice because I'm still having trouble getting rid of this. Probably should go get one of Betty's cough drops. They soothe all ills. Anyway, but
we can go work on our project some more.
Yeah.
Since I'm behind.
Yeah, because you have until Monday night, and then you actually have until I come to my desk on
Tuesday morning.
And then I will count up all the entries. Doesn't matter if you made 1 or you made 5. They're all going to count. Not going to be like I usually do. It's like one per person. You can put in 5 if you want, but I'm only counting one. This one, I'm counting all of them.
Yeah, so if you made 5 different things,
Then
you get 5 entries.
Yeah. So I will count those up.
And continue to post under that post that Bisou made with the Sense and Sensibility girls.
Yeah, we had a problem. Facebook is playing its tricks again, and we can't get things to properly post under Regency-Jane. Now, Daniel Clark helped me find a way to do it, but I'm just not going to go backwards on that. We'll use it for WTW going forward. We'll talk about it later on this week, but I'm not going to do it now because first I tell you, do Regency-Jane. Now I'm telling you, post under this picture. And then if I tell you something, there's going to be mass confusion. I'm going to be having to hunt everywhere to make sure I got everyone, and inevitably I will miss someone. So I'm like, nope, this is working. Go to the feed on the group where it shows the Sense and Sensibility girls sitting out on the lawn. Looks like they're making stuff.
We'll keep bumping it too.
Yeah. Well, it's also pinned to featured, so be sure that you got your stuff up, and then I'll do a drawing on Tuesday morning, and whoever wins gets $100 free shopping. That's nothing to sniff at.
No, that's a pretty good shopping spree.
That's worth working for a little bit because we have a good many entries already, but it's not like so many that you don't have a chance. I mean, you definitely have a chance to win, so you want to get in on that. And then as for, what's going to be the next one, I have several ideas. I had thought maybe we would do a class on Victoriana and some other things with projects in January, because I always have a January class. My January class is usually the most important one all year. So I might do that. Of course, it'll be a little bit more organized than this was, but this wasn't bad. We learned a lot. I did anyway. Really, when you take a class like this, a lot of it's up to you anyway. How much you learn. How much side reading do you want to do? How much do you really want to know about the thing? So anyway. Yeah, that is a sweet shopping deal, that's for sure. So put your stuff up, Karen Gill, and maybe you could win. So I was thinking about doing that, and then I showed my Mona Lisa necklace the other day, and people were excited about that and said, why can't we have a class on that? Which we definitely could. I just had to make sure that I ordered in enough of the parts so we'd have them. I think we have a good many of them, though, already. Yeah, that wouldn't be that hard to teach. Some of the parts for that I can't get anymore, but there are other things I can get that'll work just as well. So that might be fun to make a great big piece like that. I don't think we've ever done anything like that together, to take maybe a couple class sessions and show how a big piece like that is put together, and how for you to plan it, put together, you could wire it if you want. Take your wiring skills that you learned and you could wire it. That'd be awesome. Or you could just glue it. Now, Mona is a glue job, and nothing wrong with that either, because she's been around since 1998 and nothing's fallen off. And I have worn her. I have definitely worn her. So, anyway, so maybe there's that. If anybody has any ideas about what they might want to do in a class next, always feel free to let me know. What you're interested in. If it's in my skills, if it's in my skill set, if it's in my wheelhouse, I'll make it happen. So we'll see, where this road takes us, into something interesting and different and unique that maybe isn't going to break the bank and isn't going to take, weeks to make. And you can learn something maybe about jewelry making history in the meantime, too, which is a good thing. She says, I loved making stack earrings, so antique looking. Yeah, they are. They're fun, put different combinations with it and see how it comes out. So, anyway, Melissa said she loved this class. I'm so glad. And Dara, you did good in this class. Dara even did Berlin Berlin ironwork. I don't know if you saw her pieces. But those, I love Berlin. That would be a cool class, actually. But I'm afraid you could get into some money with that, because those sectional pieces that were really popular in Berlin ironwork, I mean, you could get a lot of money into a piece. And maybe you want to do that, maybe don't. I don't know. I could make kits. So there's a thought there. But that jewelry is beautiful. I really, really... There's a picture of a bracelet that I have that I don't think I showed it this time, but it is so awesome. And I can get parts to make things like that bracelet. So that's a thought too. So anyway, well, thanks for coming, Pat. I think I have to run too. My voice is just going away, and I'm so sorry about that. But hopefully till next time we get together, it will be a lot stronger. So we'll have some videos next week. Lauren might do a product video, and maybe I'll have something for you toward the end of the week. I won't have one for Monday this week, because I just did one. Plus, I'm trying to get things ready now for, get more stuff in, get stuff sourced, and get my orders in too. And that really is time consuming doing that. I don't know if you guys ever realize how hard that is to find everything and coordinate it all. That's why sometimes it seems like I'm not, because it's just almost next to impossible. But anyway, oh, Andrew, I'm so glad you like that. Yes, I gave gold for iron. They would turn in their gold jewelry and they get iron jewelry. I think that's kind of a shabby substitute. But it really was pretty. And it's not like the cheap Chinese iron. It's not that. It was heavier stuff, nicer stuff. And it's held up good for what I can tell, anyway, in the pictures. So, anyway, well, thank you all for taking this free class, and let's having a little bit of fun with it. I hope you'll make some more Regency stuff. Maybe you'll experiment with hair jewelry. Maybe I'll be able to get some parts for hair jewelry soon. That might be a thought. And we could go ahead and do some of that. So that's something maybe to keep in mind too. So anyway, all right, I think I'm going to take off before my voice goes out entirely. Thank you guys for all
Thank
coming
you guys.
and for being wonderful students. I hope you'll try some of this decoupage jewelry with the face on it. I think you'll do well with it. I can't wait to make more. I gotta get some.
And we
more of
have
those
beautiful
hearts.
rice papers to pick from.
We
too,
really do.
so-
We still have a lot of nice rice papers. We sold out on a few, but we had so many to begin with, and there's still like 20 different
So
ones.
even
we
if
have.
you don't necessarily like the faces, we have birds, we have other things like the flowers. I mean, you can do lots of different decoupage
and
styles.
when you start looking at the pictures, you can see ways you can cut them down and still get an awful lot out of them, even if the main image is too big.
The
Just
bird
like I
ones
did
we
with
have
my
are gorgeous.
faces. Yeah, they are very pretty. So anyway, okay, I'm going to take off now. I hope you guys have a great Sunday. Get your projects done. Also, you have those codes.
I'm trying.
You have those codes, 15 for all, which gets you 15% off everything, and there is no minimum order on that. So that's like about the best deal I could ever give anybody, because you could come in and spend $5 and get 15% off of it. So whatever your order is, and then if you stretch up to 100, then you get 25% off. And I think we're gonna. I did say we're gonna have this sale just through Sunday, but I think we'll go ahead and we'll hold it over till the Monday after Black Friday. So we'll have it all next week too, because Black Friday is next week.
Nice.
Yeah, next weekend. So we'll just keep that up, because I was thinking, well, what can I do for them for Black Friday? I said, why not just continue that, because that's about the best deal I can give anybody anyway. And maybe I'll figure out a couple of giveaways or something during the week that we can do, so that'll be fun.
Yay.
So anyway, all right, bye, Rose. Thanks for coming. Thanks, Chris, for coming. Thanks for coming, Cherie. Thanks, Maria. All of you, you're wonderful. I love you to pieces, and I wish I had done a little more interesting job on this one, but I think I gave you some good ideas, especially with the faces. I
Yeah,
think,
I like the
think
little eyes.
That's the best one there, right there, I think. So anyway, okay, you take it easy, and we'll see you.